What does it really take to attract wealth? Not by luck or inheritance, but by discipline, wisdom, and the right mindset. Welcome to The Art of Money, Getting by P.T. Barnum, one of the most practical and timeless guides ever written on how to build real success from the ground up. In this audiobook, we'll explore 30 powerful lessons that reveal how ordinary people can create extraordinary results, not through secrets or shortcuts, but through the everyday habits that shape millionaires and men of character alike. This audiobook is divided into two parts. Part 1 covers lessons 1 to 15, the foundation of wealth, focus, and discipline. Part 2 continues with lessons 16 to 30, the deeper principles of integrity, punctuality, generosity, and lifelong growth. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a dreamer, or simply someone who wants to do better with money in life, these lessons will open your mind, challenge your habits, and inspire you to act. So take a deep breath, clear your thoughts, and let's begin part 1 of The Art of Money Getting, where your journey toward financial wisdom and personal mastery truly begins. Before we dive in, we've noticed that most people who listen to our audiobooks never subscribe to the channel. So do me and yourself a favor. Like this video, share it with someone who's ready to grow, and subscribe to this channel so you never miss more empowering content designed to help you grow. Lesson 1. Don't mistake your vocation. One of the greatest mistakes a person can make in life is walking a path that doesn't belong to them. Many people spend their best years chasing someone else's dream, doing what society, family, or peers expect, instead of what their own heart and talent are calling them to do. True success begins the moment you recognize who you are and where you fit best. You can never be truly great at something you secretly dislike. You might survive in it for a while, you might even earn some money, but there will always be a silent war inside you between what you do and who you truly are. Choosing your vocation is more than just choosing a job. It's choosing your life's direction. The right vocation brings out your natural abilities and gives you energy instead of draining it. The wrong one, no matter how profitable it looks, slowly steals your joy and your peace. Many people admire others' success and try to copy their path, thinking success is a formula to imitate. But imitation often leads to frustration. The man who becomes a millionaire by trading stocks may have the instincts and temperament for it, the patience, the risk tolerance, the love for numbers and analysis. But if you hate uncertainty, or if your joy is found in creating things with your hands, then forcing yourself into that path will only bring struggle. P.T. Barnum believed that every person has a gift, something they could do naturally well. It might be in art, teaching, leadership, invention, caring for others, or managing resources. The secret is to recognize that gift and build your career around it. He once said that a man who tries to be a lawyer without the gift of argument, or a merchant without the love of trade, will fight against nature itself, and nature always wins. Reflect on this truth. It's better to be a successful shoemaker than a failed doctor. The dignity of work doesn't come from the title, but from the excellence you bring into it. A man sweeping the streets with passion and skill can rise higher than a man sitting in an office hating every moment of his life. If you wake up every morning dreading what you do, that's a sign you're off your path. The moment you align your work with your passion, everything changes. Time flies, creativity flows, and even obstacles become challenges you're willing to face. Money, in the long run, flows naturally toward those who love what they do, because passion produces persistence, and persistence produces mastery. It's not too late to find your true vocation. Many of history's greatest achievers started late. Colonel Sanders founded KFC at 65. Grandma Moses began painting in her 70s. What mattered wasn't age, it was alignment. Once you find what fits you, time becomes your friend, not your enemy. Ask yourself today, what do I do that feels effortless, even when it's hard work? What kind of problems do I enjoy solving? What would I still love doing even if no one paid me for it? Those questions lead you closer to your true calling. Don't chase money, chase meaning. When your work aligns with your gift, money becomes the result, not the reason. But when you mistake your vocation, you trade your peace for pressure and your purpose for paychecks. Your vocation is your vehicle through life. Choose it wisely. Don't just make a living, make a difference, doing what only you can do. If this lesson inspired you, don't forget to subscribe for more powerful insights. Like this video to support the message. Share it with someone who needs a financial awakening, and leave a comment below with what you're starting to invest in today. Your future self will thank you. Lesson 2. Select the right location. In life and in business, where you choose to plant yourself often determines how much you'll grow. Success doesn't happen in isolation. It's deeply influenced by your environment. You may have the best product, the strongest work ethic, or the most brilliant idea, but if you're standing in the wrong place, your efforts may never bear fruit. Selecting the right location isn't just about geography, it's about positioning. It's about being in an environment that aligns with your goals, your customers, and your opportunities. Think about a farmer. No matter how good his seeds are, if he plants them in dry, rocky soil, he can't expect a great harvest. The same principle applies to your career, your business, and even your personal growth. Many people fail, not because they lack talent, but because they're trying to succeed in a place that doesn't support their vision. A gifted tailor might struggle in a small village where few people need fine clothing, but that same tailor could thrive in a bustling city where style and presentation are everything. The right environment gives your skills the space to shine. Your location also includes the people around you. Surrounding yourself with positive, forward-thinking individuals can elevate your mindset and open new doors. On the other hand, staying in an environment filled with negativity and small thinking can hold you back, no matter how determined you are. Sometimes, the change you need isn't in your tools or strategy, it's in your surroundings. In today's world, location can also mean your digital space. Are you showing up in the right markets online? Are you networking in the right communities? The modern marketplace isn't limited to physical streets. It includes the platforms, spaces, and conversations where opportunity lives. Be intentional about where you show up, because that determines who sees you. P.T. Barnum's wisdom reminds us that fortune favors those who know how to position themselves. When you align your efforts with the right place, opportunities begin to flow naturally. Customers find you more easily, partners trust you more, and your brand or talent grows with less resistance. So ask yourself, am I in the right place for my dreams to grow? If not, it's never too late to move. Relocate your mindset. Shift your business. Reposition your purpose. Sometimes, one change of environment can be the bridge between struggle and success. Remember, even gold must be mined from the right ground. Success is not just about what you do. It's also about where you choose to do it. Choose wisely, position yourself strategically, and your surroundings will begin to work in your favor. If this lesson inspired you, don't forget to subscribe for more powerful insights. Like this video to support the message, share it with someone who needs a financial awakening, and leave a comment below with what you're starting to invest in today. Your future self will thank you. Lesson 3. Avoid debt, the silent prison of success. Debt is one of the most subtle prisons a person can walk into with their eyes wide open. It doesn't always arrive with warning signs. Sometimes it begins with something as simple as buying what you want instead of what you need, or trying to impress people who are not even watching. But the truth is, debt is not just a financial burden. It's an emotional chain that quietly steals your peace, your focus, and your freedom. Another powerful lesson I learned from the art of money getting is that success is not only about how much you earn, it's about how much you keep. Many people earn good money, but because they live beyond their means, they remain poor in reality. They are rich in appearance, but broke in truth. P.T. Barnum reminds us that if you can't afford it today, you probably don't need it today. Learn the art of waiting, because patience is cheaper than interest. Debt promises convenience, but delivers slavery. When you owe, you give someone else control over your time, your peace, and your next decision. Imagine waking up every morning not to build your dream, but to pay off yesterday's choices. That's not freedom. That's bondage dressed in modern fashion. You can't be truly rich if you spend your nights worrying about what you owe. Living within your means doesn't mean living small. It means living smart. It's about mastering contentment and discipline, two invisible qualities that build visible wealth. It's being able to say, I'll wait until I can pay for it, and feeling proud, not deprived. It's choosing financial peace over temporary pleasure. P.T. Barnum understood something timeless, that borrowing for pleasure is like planting a tree of pain. You enjoy the fruit for a moment, but you'll spend years cutting down the roots. The wise learn to manage money before money manages them. And that starts by avoiding the one thing that multiplies pressure: debt. Here's the truth. No amount of income can fix a spending problem. You can't fill a leaking bucket by pouring in more water. The solution is to fix the leak. Track your expenses. Spend on things that grow you, not things that weigh you down. Save before you spend. Invest before you indulge. Let your money work for you, not the other way around. When you avoid debt, you gain something more valuable than luxury: freedom of choice. Freedom to walk away from toxic jobs. Freedom to sleep in peace. Freedom to dream without fear of collectors knocking. That is the true definition of wealth. Not the number of things you own, but the number of things that no longer own you. So, ask yourself today, are you building your freedom, or are you borrowing it? Because every debt you take is a promise to your future self, a promise that may cost you your peace tomorrow. Live within your means, grow steadily, and let patience be your greatest investment. Financial freedom begins the moment you stop chasing approval and start valuing peace. Avoid debt. Live wisely. And remember, it's not about how fast you grow, it's about how long you stay free. Lesson 4. Persevere. Stick to your goals and don't give up when challenges come. In the journey to success, there's one golden thread that runs through every story of greatness: perseverance. Talent can open doors, opportunity can set the stage, and luck can give you a head start, but only perseverance keeps you moving when everything else fades away. P.T. Barnum believed that the difference between the man who succeeds and the man who fails often lies in their ability to stand firm when the storms come. The truth is, no worthy dream comes without resistance. Every dreamer must fight through seasons of doubt, fear, and frustration. The world rarely rewards the one who starts fast. It rewards the one who finishes strong. Think about it. Every successful entrepreneur, artist, or leader has faced a moment when quitting seemed like the easier option. Barnum himself endured failures, ridicule, and near bankruptcy before becoming the greatest showman of his time. But what separated him from the rest was not that he never failed. It was that he never stayed down. He understood that perseverance is not stubbornness. It's faith in action. It's the quiet confidence that even though today may be difficult, tomorrow can be better if I keep going. Success rarely arrives in one grand leap. It's built one small, consistent step at a time. There will be times when you feel invisible, times when your effort seems to produce nothing, times when people doubt your dream or mock your ambition. In those moments, remember this: every great oak tree was once a seed buried in darkness. Growth happens underground before it happens in the open. Keep watering your vision with patience, consistency, and belief. Perseverance doesn't mean you never fall. It means you get up one more time than you fall. It means refusing to let temporary setbacks convince you of permanent failure. You might change your strategy, but never your destination. The road to success is rarely straight. It bends, twists, and often feels endless. But those who keep walking eventually reach the light. Barnum once said that no man ever achieves success without hard work and determination. And that's the essence of perseverance: doing what must be done even when you don't feel like it. The dream belongs to the one who stays long enough to see it manifest. So, when your plans crumble, rebuild. When the world says no, remind yourself that persistence has the power to turn no into not yet. The longer you endure, the closer you move toward your breakthrough. Remember, mountains only yield to those who keep climbing. Let perseverance be your anchor. Let hold you steady when the winds of doubt blow. Every time you choose to keep going, to take one more step, make one more call, practice one more hour, you prove to yourself that you have what it takes. Greatness is not born in comfort. It's forged in persistence. Don't let a season of struggle make you forget the purpose that started your journey. The difference between those who dream and those who achieve is simple. The achievers never stop trying. So keep moving, keep believing, keep building. The reward belongs to those who refuse to quit. Lesson 5. Whatever you do, do it with all your might. In life, half-hearted effort never builds full success. Whatever you choose to do, whether it's running a business, studying, raising a family, or developing a skill, do it with all your might. P.T. Barnum reminds us that success does not come to those who only wish for it. It comes to those who work for it, and work with intensity, focus, and passion. Too many people drift through life with divided attention. They try a little here, a little there, hoping something will click. But life doesn't reward indecision. It rewards commitment. When you pour your entire being into a task, you activate something powerful within yourself. Discipline, creativity, and unstoppable energy. Every fiber of your being aligns toward a single purpose. Think of the blacksmith in a small village. Each swing of his hammer might look ordinary to others, but to him, it's a commitment to mastery. His muscles ache, his hands are rough, but over time, he shapes raw metal into beauty and strength. That's how success is forged, through focused, consistent effort. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. Social media, trends, instant gratification. It's easy to get caught up in 1,000 little things and lose sight of the main thing. But if you want to achieve something truly meaningful, you must give it your full energy. Not what's left after scrolling or procrastinating. The best of you. Doing it with all your might means being present. It means showing up with intention even when you don't feel like it. It's about doing your best work even when no one is watching, and improving yourself even when there's no applause. Because real excellence doesn't start in public, it's born in private. When you work with full strength and sincerity, opportunities find you. People notice the fire in your commitment. Your results speak for you louder than any advertisement ever could. Employers, customers, and partners are drawn to those who take their work seriously. The world respects excellence, and excellence is the natural fruit of full effort. Barnum believed that mediocrity is a silent killer of success. It doesn't destroy instantly. It slowly drains energy, focus, and self-belief. But when you decide that anything worth doing is worth doing well, you separate yourself from the crowd. You stop just surviving and start thriving. It doesn't matter if your current task feels small. A cleaner who polishes every surface with pride will attract attention. A student who studies diligently will open doors others didn't even know existed. A business owner who treats every customer with full attention builds loyalty that money cannot buy. Every great achievement begins with someone giving their all to something simple. Barnum's wisdom also teaches us this. Your might isn't just physical strength. It's mental, emotional, and spiritual energy. It's your ability to stay consistent when enthusiasm fades. It's your willingness to stay late, to learn one more thing, to keep improving when others quit. That's what transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary success. So as you listen to this, ask yourself, am I doing what I do with all my might, or am I holding back? Because your results will always reflect your level of intensity. Life doesn't owe us success. We earn it through our dedication. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with passion. Do it with integrity. Do it as though your entire future depends on it, because in many ways, it does. And remember, the difference between good and great is often just a little more effort, a little more focus, a little more might. If you give your best to life, life will give its best back to you. Lesson 6. Use the best tools. Success is never an accident. It is the product of preparation meeting opportunity. And preparation begins with the tools we use, our knowledge, our skills, and the instruments that help us do our work. In every profession, from the blacksmith to the businessman, from the farmer to the digital entrepreneur, using the best tools determines how far and how fast you'll go. Think about it for a moment. A carpenter can have the strongest arms and the best ideas, but if his saw is dull, his work will be slow and sloppy. The same truth applies to life. You may have great ambition, but without sharpening your tools, your mind, your habits, and your methods, you'll find success harder to build. When P.T. Barnum spoke about using the best tools, he wasn't only referring to physical instruments. He was pointing to something deeper, the tools of the mind and character. Your thoughts, your discipline, your time management, your ability to communicate. All these are tools that shape your results. A weak tool will slow you down. A strong tool will multiply your efforts. In today's world, using the best tools means investing in your growth. It means learning the right skills for your chosen field, upgrading your knowledge, and surrounding yourself with information and systems that make your work effective. Many people fail not because they lack opportunity, but because they refuse to upgrade their tools. They rely on old methods, outdated ideas, and the excuse of this is how it's always been done. But progress favors those who adapt, improve, and equip themselves for excellence. Imagine two farmers. One plants with his hands, the other uses a machine that sows, waters, and weeds efficiently. Who do you think will harvest more? The second farmer, not because he worked harder, but because he used better tools. The same principle applies to your business, your career, and your personal life. The right tools don't just make your work easier, they multiply your results. But let's take this even further. Your greatest tool is yourself. Your body is the machine through which every dream is built. Your mind is the workshop of creation. That's why investing in your health, learning, and emotional balance is not a luxury. It's a necessity. The sharper your mind, the clearer your decisions. The stronger your character, the smoother your progress. If you're an entrepreneur, your best tools may include a good accounting system, marketing knowledge, reliable staff, and modern technology. If you're a student, your tools are your study habits, curiosity, and focus. If you're a creative, your tools might be your imagination, research, and consistency. Whatever your field, success demands that you equip yourself with the finest instruments for your mission. But here's the reflection part. Sometimes, we are tempted to save money by using cheap tools or skipping training. We say, I'll manage with what I have. But every shortcut becomes a delay in disguise. Poor tools cost more in the long run because they waste your time, energy, and confidence. Excellence is never achieved by convenience. It's achieved by preparation. So ask yourself today, am I using the best tools available to me? Not necessarily the most expensive, but the most effective? Am I upgrading my mind with knowledge? Am I improving my skills? Or am I repeating old habits, expecting new results? Barnum's lesson still speaks powerfully today. Success belongs to those who invest in their improvement. The sharper your tools, the smoother your path. The best tools don't just make you productive. They make you unstoppable. So, whether your tool is a pen, a laptop, a microphone, a skill, or a mindset, keep it sharp. Polish your knowledge. Improve your methods. Upgrade your thinking. Because in the art of money getting, the true winners are not those who work the hardest, but those who work the smartest with the best tools in their hands. Lesson 7. Don't get above your business. One of the greatest mistakes many people make after achieving a small taste of success is forgetting the very principles that brought them there. They start to feel too big for the work that once put food on their table. They want to appear important instead of being productive. But true success doesn't come from looking successful. It comes from staying grounded and focused on your mission. Many great fortunes have been lost because their owners wanted to rise too high, too fast. They stopped paying attention to the details. They delegated too soon. They became too proud to roll up their sleeves and work with their own hands. But here's the truth. Humility is a hidden asset in business. No matter how high you rise, never think yourself too important to handle the simple tasks that keep your foundation strong. When you get above your business, you lose touch with reality. You stop listening to your customers, you forget what your market needs, and you focus more on appearances than performance. P.T. Barnum taught that the wisest entrepreneurs are those who can balance ambition with humility. They don't despise small beginnings. Instead, they see every small task, every small client, every early challenge as part of their journey to mastery. The man who manages his little store faithfully today prepares himself to run an empire tomorrow. But the man who looks down on his small store never learns how to handle a big one. Think of it this way. A tree that grows too fast without deep roots will be the first to fall when the storm comes. Success works the same way. If you forget your foundation, your customers, your team, your work ethic, your success becomes fragile. True growth happens from the ground up, not from the top down. Stay involved. Know what's happening in your business. Learn every detail. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty or to do what others might call small work. Every great empire was once a single effort done with excellence. The baker who sweeps his shop floor with pride will one day own a chain of bakeries. The trader who respects every buyer, no matter how small, will soon attract those who can buy in bulk. Never despise where you are. Every stage of your journey has purpose. The lessons you learn in small beginnings are the very tools you'll need when bigger responsibilities come. So stay grounded. Stay teachable. Keep your mind in your work and your heart humble enough to serve. Don't get above your business. Grow within it. Because those who rise with humility will stay standing when prideful men fall. Lesson 8. Learn something useful. In every age, one truth remains constant. The person who keeps learning never stops growing. P.T. Barnum reminded us that success is not luck. It's the result of knowledge, skill, and preparation. The world rewards those who bring value, and value is born from usefulness. Learning something useful means equipping yourself with skills that solve problems, meet needs, and create opportunities. It's not just about collecting information, but about learning what makes you valuable to others. In every community, workplace, or business, the people who rise to the top are those who know how to do something others can't easily replace. Think of it this way. A man who knows how to fix machines will never be out of work where machines exist. A woman who knows how to communicate ideas clearly will always find a stage, a job, or a business that thrives on her words. In today's world, useful learning might mean mastering digital tools, financial literacy, public speaking, leadership, emotional intelligence, or even a trade. Whatever the skill is, it must serve a real purpose. Barnum believed that too many people waste time learning things that do not add value to their lives. They chase trends, gossip, or idle amusements instead of building a foundation that can stand when life storms come. The lesson here is simple. Learn something that pays you back in wisdom, confidence, and results. Every skill you gain adds another layer to your independence. When you learn something useful, you no longer depend entirely on others for survival. You create your own options. You open your own doors. You become an asset, not a liability, not only to others, but to yourself. Think about the carpenter who can build a house with his hands, the designer who can turn ideas into income, the teacher who can transform a child's mind, the doctor who can heal, the farmer who can grow, the entrepreneur who can create. These are not just professions. They're proofs of usefulness. They are examples of how learning something practical can change not only your life, but the lives of those around you. Learning never ends. The moment you stop learning, your growth stops too. Every day brings new tools, new ideas, and new ways to do things better. That's why the most successful people never say, "I already know enough." Instead, they ask, "What else can I learn that will help me serve more, earn more, and live more fully?" Use your free time wisely. Replace idle scrolling with intentional study. Read books that stretch your thinking. Listen to people who are doing better than you, not to those who complain. Learn by observing, by practicing, by failing, and by trying again. Real learning isn't just what you get from school. It's what you teach yourself when nobody is watching. And remember, learning something useful doesn't only mean learning to make money. It also means learning how to live better, how to control your emotions, manage your time, speak with confidence, treat people with respect, and build strong relationships. These soft skills are the invisible tools that often create the biggest success stories. So ask yourself today, what skill can I learn that will make me more valuable in the next 6 months? Maybe it's learning a digital skill, starting a side hustle, understanding investments, or even improving your communication. Whatever it is, start now. Don't wait for the perfect time, because the perfect time comes when you begin. Barnum's timeless message was this: The person who learns something useful never stays poor, never stays stuck, and never stays the same. The more you grow, the more the world opens up to you. So, commit yourself to being a lifelong learner. Feed your mind with wisdom, and your life will reflect it. Every skill you build becomes a bridge to the next level of your destiny. Keep learning. Keep growing. Because in the art of money getting, the greatest wealth begins in the mind that never stops learning. Lesson 9. Let hope predominate, but be not too visionary. Hope is the heartbeat of progress. Without it, we would never take the first step toward a dream, nor survive the storms that rise on our way. Every great invention, every thriving business, and every act of courage began with hope, that invisible light that tells us it's possible. But P.T. Barnum reminds us that hope, though powerful, must walk hand in hand with reason. There's a fine line between faith in the future and foolish expectation. Many people fall into the trap of being too visionary. They build castles in the air, but forget to lay foundations on the ground. They imagine success, yet never prepare for the work, patience, and sacrifice that success demands. To let hope predominate means to dream, but to also plan. It means you believe in the unseen while preparing for the seen. You keep your eyes on the stars, but your feet stay firmly on the ground. A farmer who hopes for a harvest does not merely dream about full barns. He tills the soil, plants the seed, and tends his crops. His hope fuels his labor. His faith gives meaning to his sweat. But the man who only dreams of harvest without planting will reap nothing but disappointment. In the same way, we must not confuse hope with wishful thinking. Hope is active. It pushes you to act, to move, to create. Wishful thinking, on the other hand, waits for miracles while ignoring opportunities. Barnum teaches us to balance optimism with realism. Don't let fear choke your ambition, but don't let fantasy cloud your judgment either. You may dream of owning a global company. Start by mastering your current job. You may want to build a mansion. First, learn how to manage a single room. Growth is gradual. The ladder to success is climbed one steady step at a time. History is filled with people who failed not because they lacked hope, but because they had too much of it, unbalanced by reason. They invested blindly, trusted too easily, or chased every shiny idea without counting the cost. Hope should inspire you to take risks, yes, but calculated risks, the kind guided by knowledge and sound judgment. Ask yourself often, am I building my dream on solid ground or thin air? This reflection keeps your hope healthy and your mind clear. It reminds you that good fortune is not a gift to the dreamer, but a reward to the doer. Let hope predominate. Let it lift your spirit when the world grows cold and the road seems endless. But temper that hope with discipline, learning, and persistence. That is how vision becomes reality. The greatest successes were not born from wild dreams alone, but from hope married to hard work, faith combined with focus, and ambition balanced with wisdom. So, dream, but dream with your hands ready to work. Believe, but back that belief with consistent effort. Hope, but let your hope be guided by reason. Because it is not the dreamer who wins, but the doer who dreams wisely. Lesson 10. Do not scatter your powers. In the journey to success, one of the greatest enemies of progress is distraction. Many people fail not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they spread their energy too thin, try to chase too many things at once. P.T. Barnum's timeless advice teaches us that concentration is power. The man who focuses all his strength on one thing, one goal, one dream, is far more likely to succeed than the man who dips his hands into 10 different pursuits, hoping one of them will work. Think about the sun. When its light is scattered, it warms the earth gently. But when focused through a magnifying glass, it can start a fire. The same principle applies to your energy and attention. When focused, they ignite results. Most people want to do everything at once. They start a business, take another side hustle, begin a course, then jump into a new opportunity the moment it appears. In the end, they make a little progress in many directions, but never move far in any. They become busy, but not productive. occupied but not successful. 2. Not scatter your powers means to choose wisely what deserves your attention and to channel your energy into it fully. If you're building a business, build it until it stands strong before starting another. If you're learning a skill, master it before you move on to the next. The path to mastery and success is paved with focus, discipline, and patience. Even in Barnum's time, he observed that many men of promise were lost to distraction, men who had the ability to rise high but were pulled down by their inability to stay consistent in one direction. They were like ships changing course every few miles, never reaching the harbor. Today, we live in a world of endless noise, social media, trends, opportunities everywhere. But the principle remains unchanged. You cannot go deep if you're always going wide. The most successful people in the world are those who commit to one cause and nurture it until it bears fruit. When your mind is scattered, your strength is divided. When your focus is unified, your strength becomes unstoppable. Ask yourself, what truly matters to me right now? What single pursuit, if I devoted myself to it, would create the greatest progress in my life? Once you find that answer, protect it. Guard your attention as you would guard your treasure. Remember, success doesn't come from doing 100 things once. It comes from doing one thing 100 times until it becomes a masterpiece. So, wherever you are, pause for a moment and reflect. Are you scattering your powers, or are you channeling them? Are you busy, or are you building? The difference between mediocrity and greatness lies in that single choice, the power of focus. Lesson 11. Be systematic. Another powerful lesson I learned from the art of money getting is the importance of being systematic. P.T. Barnum taught that success rarely comes to those who act without order, plan, or discipline. To truly grow in business or in life, you must have structure, because order is the foundation upon which wealth and peace of mind are built. Think about it. A farmer who plants seeds at random may get lucky once, but the one who understands timing, spacing, and soil care will consistently reap a harvest. The same is true in business, work, and personal finance. When you are systematic, when you plan your day, track your spending, and organize your thoughts, you create a system that multiplies your results. Barnum's wisdom reminds us that even the smallest actions can become powerful habits if done with structure. Having a routine doesn't mean you are rigid. It means you are intentional. It means you don't let chance or chaos dictate your direction. Being systematic is about making time work for you instead of against you. Many people fail not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they lack organization. They start projects without finishing them. They spend without budgeting. They make promises but never follow through. Being systematic eliminates confusion and creates clarity. It helps you see exactly what to do next and how to do it better. In today's world, being systematic can look like setting goals for your week, creating a budget for your income, or scheduling your priorities instead of prioritizing what's on your schedule. It's keeping your business records in order, responding to emails promptly, and developing routines that keep your focus sharp. When you are systematic, you save energy. You save time. You reduce mistakes. And you make room for creativity because your mind is not cluttered with disorganization. Even the greatest artists, inventors, and entrepreneurs have systems. They follow patterns that make success repeatable. Barnum's life itself was proof of this principle. Behind his fame as a showman was a man who kept precise records, followed daily routines, and maintained order in his financial dealings. He believed that success was not about luck or genius alone. It was about system, discipline, and consistency. So, if you truly want to succeed in business or personal life, build systems that support your goals. Don't just rely on motivation, rely on method. Set routines that help you win every day. Have a plan for your money, your time, and your growth. And most importantly, stick to it. Because at the end of the day, success doesn't come to the most talented or the most educated. It comes to the most organized. Be systematic, and you'll discover that your results will multiply not by chance, but by design. Lesson 12. Stay informed. Knowledge creates opportunity. In a world that moves faster than ever, Ignorance is no longer an excuse, it's a cost. The people who thrive are not just the hardest workers, but the most informed. Another valuable lesson from the art of money getting is the importance of being aware of what's happening around you. Barnum emphasized reading the newspapers, not merely for entertainment, but for enlightenment. When you stay informed, you begin to see patterns that others miss. You notice where people's attention is shifting, what industries are rising, what needs are being created, and where opportunities are quietly waiting to be claimed. Knowledge, when properly used, becomes the sharpest tool in your success toolbox. Think about it. Every new invention, every business trend, every law that changes how people live and work begins with information. The one who gets that information early and understands how to use it gains a powerful advantage. It's like planting a seed before everyone else even realizes there's fertile soil. But this doesn't stop at newspapers. Today, staying informed goes far beyond flipping pages or scrolling headlines. It means developing the habit of learning every single day. Read business journals, study the stories of people who are succeeding in your field, listen to the pulse of the economy, and pay attention to the little changes happening in your environment. The opportunities that build fortunes often appear as tiny clues in the news. Barnum's wisdom here is timeless. He wasn't just talking about papers filled with ink. He was talking about awareness. The man or woman who knows what's going on in their community, who understands the flow of trade, who reads about inventions, policies, and market trends, becomes valuable in any circle. Knowledge gives confidence, and confidence breeds opportunity. There's a saying, the person who doesn't read is no better off than the person who can't. In every generation, there are people who miss their chance simply because they were too busy to learn, too distracted to stay updated, or too comfortable to stay curious. But the curious mind, the one that keeps seeking, reading, and learning, will always find doors where others only see walls. Staying informed doesn't just make you smarter. It keeps your spirit alive. It opens your imagination to what's possible. When you read about someone turning a small idea into a fortune, you realize that success leaves clues, and those clues are often found in the stories of others. Every time you learn something new, you sharpen your ability to think, decide, and act wisely. You begin to connect dots that others can't see. You start predicting instead of reacting. That's the quiet edge that turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. So, make it a daily ritual, not just to read, but to understand. Take a few minutes each day to absorb something useful. Learn about the market, the trends, the people, the world. Don't just read for amusement. Read for advancement. And when you come across an idea that stirs you, don't just store it, apply it. Remember, knowledge doesn't just open your eyes, it opens your future. Every piece of useful information you gather becomes a brick in the foundation of your success. Those who build their wealth on knowledge build it on solid ground. Because trends may fade, markets may shift, but the informed mind never loses its power to adapt and rise again. Stay informed, stay curious, and let your awareness be your greatest advantage. Because in every era, the most successful people aren't always the strongest or the richest. They're simply the ones who knew first, understood deeply, and acted wisely. Lesson 13. Beware of outside operations. Avoid side ventures that distract from your main goal. In your journey to success, one of the greatest temptations you'll ever face is distraction. It often comes disguised as opportunity. Many people fail, not because they lack talent or discipline, but because they spread themselves too thin, chasing too many things at once. You see, success is like sunlight through a magnifying glass. When it's scattered, it warms, but when it's focused, it burns through anything in its path. The same applies to your energy, your time, and your money. When you concentrate them on one clear purpose, growth becomes unstoppable. But when you divide them across 10 unfinished ideas, nothing ever truly succeeds. P.T. Barnum warned against what he called outside operations. These are the side ventures that look promising but quietly pull you away from your main source of progress. Perhaps you've seen it happen. The shop owner who suddenly decides to invest in a friend's restaurant business, only to neglect his own store. The young professional who starts trading crypto, doing drop shipping, and learning 3 online businesses at once. Yet none ever grows because attention is too divided. Barnum's lesson is simple but timeless. Stick to your core lane until it becomes strong enough to stand on its own. The mind loves novelty, but success loves focus. There's a difference between being busy and being productive. Busy people scatter their energy everywhere. Productive people channel their effort into one direction until mastery is achieved. Think of it like farming. If a farmer keeps planting new seeds every day without nurturing the ones already sown, he will end the year with empty fields. But if he waters, weeds, and protects one crop consistently, he will harvest abundantly. The same principle governs business, career, and wealth creation. There's nothing wrong with ambition. In fact, expansion is part of growth. But the danger lies in expanding too soon, when your foundation isn't yet firm. Barnum himself experienced this. At one point, he invested heavily in multiple side projects while managing his main attraction business. The results? Stress, distraction, and near financial ruin. It was only when he refocused his time and resources on what he knew best, entertainment and showmanship, that he rebuilt his fortune and legacy. That's why this lesson remains powerful even today. Don't get seduced by every new venture that promises quick profit. Every opportunity has a hidden cost, and that cost is your attention. Once your focus is divided, excellence disappears. Reflect on this. How many outside operations are currently stealing your time? How many half-started projects are preventing you from finishing the one that truly matters? Sometimes the best way forward isn't to add more, but to subtract, to simplify, to give your full energy to the one thing that has the highest potential to transform your life. Focus builds momentum. Momentum builds mastery. Mastery builds wealth. So, guard your focus like treasure. Protect it from distractions, even the ones that look shiny and promising. Finish what you started, and only when it's successful, consider expanding your horizon. Remember this truth. The sun doesn't burn until it's focused. Neither will you. Lesson 14. Don't endorse without security. There is one simple truth about money and relationships that many people learn too late. Never risk your financial stability for promises you cannot control. P.T. Barnum emphasized this principle because he had seen too many well-meaning men destroyed by it. Not by their own mistakes, but by the debts of others. You may think you're being kind, loyal, or generous by signing your name to help someone else secure a loan or a deal. Maybe it's a close friend who says, "I just need your signature, I'll handle the rest." Or a relative who insists, "I'll pay you back in no time." And because you trust them, you agree. But soon, you realize that you've guaranteed a promise you don't control. If they fail to pay, the burden doesn't fall on them. It falls on you. Their failure becomes your financial chain. This lesson isn't about being heartless or selfish. It's about being wise, disciplined, and realistic. Helping others is noble, but helping without wisdom is a recipe for regret. When you endorse another person's debt without security, you are in truth saying, "If they fail, I will pay," and the world will hold you to that. Barnum often reminded his readers that true charity doesn't involve putting yourself in bondage. You can't rescue others by sinking with them. The best help you can offer is to teach them how to stand on their own, not to hand them your lifeboat while you drown. Let's bring this closer to life. Imagine you've worked for years to save up a comfortable amount. A friend comes asking you to co-sign a loan for his business. You hesitate, but he reassures you, "Don't worry, I've got everything under control." 6 months later, the business collapses, and suddenly, your name, your savings, your reputation are at stake. You didn't fail in your work, yet you're paying the price. Why? Because you gambled your peace on someone else's uncertainty. This is not a lesson against friendship or generosity. It's a call for responsible boundaries. If someone truly believes in their venture, they should be willing to provide security, something tangible to show they have as much to lose as you do. Without that, the risk is one-sided, and wisdom says, walk away politely. Barnum's wisdom was clear: never let emotions rule over judgment. Many have gone broke not because they lacked business sense, but because they mixed business with blind loyalty. Money doesn't understand friendship. Banks, lenders, and creditors don't care about good intentions. They care about signatures. And once your name is written, your word becomes your bond. Think of it this way. Your financial foundation is like a roof over your head. If someone's house is leaking, you can offer tools, guidance, or even shelter. But if you tear off your own roof to cover theirs soon, both of you will be exposed to the storm. So, before you put your name on any dotted line, pause and reflect. Can I afford to lose this money if things go wrong? Am I helping wisely? Or am I setting myself up for regret? Does this person have a track record of responsibility? Or am I acting on emotion? Remember, it's easier to say no today than to live with regret tomorrow. Being cautious isn't being cruel. It's being a good steward of what you've worked for. And when your foundation is strong, you can help others in far more powerful, sustainable ways. In the end, Barnum's message still echoes through time. Kindness should be guided by judgment. Generosity should never be blind. Guard your name, guard your finances, and never risk your peace for another person's promise. Because true success isn't just about earning money. It's about keeping it safe and using it wisely. If this lesson inspired you, don't forget to subscribe for more powerful insights. Like this video to support the message, share it with someone who needs a financial awakening, and leave a comment below with what you're starting to invest in today. Your future self will thank you. Lesson 15. Advertise your business. Let the world know what you offer. One of the greatest secrets of success is visibility. You might have the best product, the best idea, or the best service, but if no one knows it exists, it's as good as hidden treasure buried deep underground. Wealth doesn't flow toward silence. It flows toward awareness. That's why one of the most powerful lessons in the art of money getting is simple yet profound. Advertise your business. Let the world know what you offer. Advertising is not just about buying space in a newspaper or posting on social media. It's about communicating value, making people see you, understand you, and trust you. In Barnum's time, he painted bright posters, created spectacles, and used storytelling to attract the public. In today's world, the principles remain the same, only the tools have changed. The successful entrepreneur, artist, or creator is the one who knows how to shine a light on what they bring to the table. Imagine a talented baker who makes the most delicious bread in town, but never tells anyone. He waits quietly, hoping people will somehow discover his shop. Across the street, another baker uses signs, scents, samples, and smiles to draw people in. The second baker might not even be the better cook, but he understands visibility. And visibility often beats talent when it comes to business growth. That is the essence of this lesson. You must not hide your light under a basket. Advertising is your way of saying to the world, here I am. This is what I do, and this is why it matters. But here's the truth many people miss. Good advertising doesn't mean exaggeration or deception. It means clarity, consistency, and creativity. You don't have to shout. You simply have to speak clearly to the right audience. If you believe in your product, your service, or your skill, you have a moral duty to let people know it exists. Because when you advertise honestly, you're not just selling something. You're helping someone who truly needs what you offer. Think about this. Every successful person in history learned how to promote their gifts. A writer must share their words. A musician must let others hear their song. A business owner must invite the world into their store. Even nature teaches us this. Flowers bloom and display their colors not for themselves, but to attract the bees that will help them grow. So, don't be shy about letting the world see your worth. If you're passionate about what you do, let that passion show in your promotions. Tell your story with authenticity. Use every ethical means to draw attention to your craft, whether it's through networking, marketing, branding, or word of mouth. People can't appreciate what they don't know exists. Barnum understood that attention is the first step to opportunity. He didn't wait for luck. He created it by staying visible. He built his empire not only through what he sold, but how he presented it. That's a timeless lesson. Visibility creates credibility. The more people see you delivering value, the more they begin to trust you. But advertising should also evolve with wisdom. It's not about being loud. It's about being memorable. It's not about tricking people. It's about connecting with them. The goal is not to get a quick sale, but to build a lasting reputation that speaks louder than your words. In the end, every successful person is both a creator and a communicator. If you want your work to have impact, don't whisper your value. Declare it with confidence, backed by truth and integrity. So ask yourself today, does the world know what I offer? Or am I hiding my greatness behind silence? Because no matter how excellent your product or skill, it's your ability to let people know about it that transforms effort into income and vision into success. Advertising, at its core, is not about spending, it's about expressing. It's about giving your work the visibility it deserves. It's about lighting the candle that guides others to your value. Let the world know what you do. Because if you don't tell your story, someone else will, and they might not tell it right. If this lesson inspired you, don't forget to subscribe for more powerful insights. Like this video to support the message. Share it with someone who needs a financial awakening, and leave a comment below with what you're starting to invest in today. Your future self will thank you. And that brings us to the end of part 1 of The Art of Money Getting, lessons 1 through 15. Each principle you've just heard carries timeless wisdom. From choosing the right vocation to mastering perseverance, focus, and self-discipline. These aren't just money lessons. They are life lessons that shape the way you think, work, and grow. But this is only the beginning. In part 2, we'll uncover the remaining 15 principles. Powerful insights on integrity, charity, self-control, and the habits that separate those who merely wish for success from those who truly achieve it. So stay tuned for part 2 of this audiobook, because your journey toward financial wisdom and lasting success continues there. If you've gained value from this first part, make sure to subscribe, like, share, and comment below to let others learn and grow with you. Remember, wealth begins in the mind, and action turns it into reality.